You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's G-Sizzle from The Sizzle. Back in the building, baby, hotter than ever. Listen, we're hot out the kitchen, and I wanted to just talk to you a little about what's going on. You know that the NBA free agency frenzy has hit full fever, and I mean it's at a fervent pitch. It is going crazy. It's bananas, some of the stuff that's going on right now in the league. But listen, let's hear from my man Kendrick Perkins. Let's hear some things about what he thinks about the Bulls acquisition of Lonzo Ball and how that's going to affect the Bulls and really what he thinks about it. So we're going to share a little Kendrick Perkins with you. See what you think, and I'll give you my reactions after the video, and we'll go from there. So let's sit back and listen to Kendrick Perkins on The Jump, courtesy of ESPN. So he's following the guard of his little brother. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So, let's see. Where do we start this? Now, not a bad take by Perk. It is a good move for the Bulls. Very good move for the Bulls. And Reggie Jackson would be a good pickup for the Pelicans. I think that would be that'd be a solid move for them. That would give them some flexibility. Not the best. And as we saw throughout the day, the dominoes started falling. You had Mike Conley re-signing. You have Laurie going to Miami, now making a big three or a tall two and a little one. However you want to put it, you're seeing these dominoes fall. I think the person who's going to be affected the most out of all of this is probably Dennis Schroeder. I think at the end of the day, he might be somebody who, the cards haven't been dealt yet, but he's probably going to end up losing on the back end. But let's just look at it, okay? With the most moves in the recent free agent history, the point guards have really set the market for the 2021-2022 season. So let's say the Bulls have made the biggest headlines. They've made the biggest splash here. They got Lonzo in a sign and trade agreement, which is 4 years, $85 million. And they also signed Alex Caruso for $37 million. In that deal, here's what they're doing. They're shifting and they're moving it, how everything's going right now. So let's say Ball has an opportunity. I mean, he's been up and down for the past 4 seasons after he was selected number 2 by the Lakers in 2017, I'm correct? I think so. So, he's had his good times. He's had his bad times. But, in that trade for Anthony Davis, they had given up on Lonzo, and rightfully so. He wasn't really what you thought he could be as a second. He wasn't what they thought he could be. But with the Pelicans, he found a better shooting stroke, and he is now shooting, when he was with the Lakers, 31%. Now he's at 43% from deep and from the line in the last 2 seasons. His numbers are trending up. And those numbers are moving him to the top of the class when you talk about point guards in the league. So let's just look at some of his numbers. He averaged career highs, 37% in the 3-point range. From the field goal, he was 41%. His free throw percentage is 78%, and his true shooting percentage is about 55%, which puts him at about 14, 15 points a game. Now, somewhere in there, he's doing quite well. And what he did with the Pelicans this year, which was so amazing from last season, was that he actually held on to the ball. He was actually a good caretaker of the ball. And, when you talk about usage rate, you talk about a point guard now for the future, someone that Zach LaVine has and really can look to. Okay, you got Lonzo Ball. So here's what the Bulls are doing. They're sending Tomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple, and a second-round pick back to the Pelicans in this deal. Okay? Now, then that, as a term deal, then the Pelicans signed Temple to a new 3-year deal, which some have reported 2 at 5, but it's a 3-year, $15 million deal. And so, it's great. It's great. I mean, it works out for everybody. So let's talk about Caruso. Now, he's undrafted out of Texas A&M, and he first played in the G League and found his way onto the Lakers G League affiliate team, and then signed a contract, which is a 2-way contract, in the summer of 2019 with the Lakers. And he's been gritty. He's been what you call a glue guy. He's somebody that, even though the numbers don't show he's been great, last season, think about this. He played shooting guard, small forward, and point guard for the Lakers. So when you talk about Arturas Karnisovas's love for utility players and someone who can get in and do different things, I think now you're talking about a player just like Alex Caruso, someone who is a Swiss Army knife, can come in, do his thing, and then even give you points, give you defense, give you everything you need to be, on your game. So listen, so far for AK, for Marc Eversley, this has been a steal out of the cabinet of greatness for me. And if you're moving past the Paxson era, you're moving past guard packs, this is something I think you really want to look at, that they're putting a team together. They're actually forming a team. So let's do this. Let's look at the current roster and see what's on the Bulls right now. So right now on the Bulls, you've got a glut of guards. I mean, you got a ton of guards. You got Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, who's making noise at the Olympics about getting re-signed. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Alex Caruso, Kobe White, who's injured at the moment. You got Devin Dotson, who's a restricted free agent. Javonte Green, restricted free agent. and rookie Ayo Domosumo. I love saying it like that. I don't know why. Now, here's where it gets a little thin, is when you get to the front court. Right now, you've got Lauri Markkanen, who's a restricted agent, which you're hoping to flip for some assets. Troy Brown Jr., Al-Farouq Amine, Patrick Williams, which some are speculating he might move to the 4, but I think he will play the 3. And I'll say why in a second. Thaddeus Young, who's been rumored to be available. And now here, when you come to the centers, you've only got Vuk, and you're going to need some back help. You're going to need somebody there in that center position. You're going to need some rim protecting. We already know that JaVale McGee has signed a 1-year deal with Phoenix, giving them some depth that they desperately need. You know, you saw that during their playoff run in the Western Conference Finals all the way to the championship. They need depth behind DeAndre Ayton. So, I mean, it makes sense there. But the reason why I'm saying you're going to keep Patrick Williams at the 3, he's young, still versatile, still learning the game. But more importantly, you've got a player, Marko Simonovic, who's coming overseas, who can play the 4. He might be able to play the 3. We don't know what he'll be able to play until he gets in the league and he goes through summer camp and he goes through the summer league to the training camp to getting into some preseason games. But right now, the Bulls look like they're in a great position to at least be mediocre. Yes, I said it. Right now, I still don't see the Bulls as making a big enough of a jump when your top 3 is only Ball, LaVine, and Vuk. That's what you're banking on. And if they sign Zach to a max extension this summer, that's it. That's it, Bulls fans. That's your team. Those are your guys. That's what's going to lead you either to or not to a championship. So with all that said, Lonzo Ball, plus rating. Lonzo Ball, great pickup. The rest of the Bulls, we'll see what they filter in. We'll see what they filter out. But right now, at least you can say the Bulls are maybe in the mix for play-in seed or anywhere from the 7th to the 10th best team in the East. Sorry, Bulls fans. But until we see something more, until we see some cohesiveness, until we see some work, that's where we are. So listen, man, you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle. This is our reaction show. We talked about Kendrick Perkins. We talked about what we want to see from the Bulls. And we talked about the man of the hour, which is Lonzo Ball. So listen, if you have not liked, subscribed, and shared, please make sure to do so. Hit the button below. Make sure that you're getting this content and notification for every time we drop hot content. You know what we've come to do. You know, next time I come to you, I'm going to have the guys with me. So we're going to sit down, the Sizzle Brothers. We're going to chop this all up in a round table, talk about the free agency as in a whole. We're going to talk some Olympics. We're going to talk a little bit of everything. It's going to be hot. I'm just telling you, it's always hot. You know what we do. You know how we come to do it. So anyway, if you haven't subscribed, liked, and shared, make sure you do so. Make sure that you're following the content and make sure that you're commenting below. Leave us your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Jay wants to hear your thoughts. Rich wants to hear your thoughts. We want to know what you're thinking of this move. How is it? Is it good, great, or indifferent? You tell us. Listen, you know who it is. I'm G Sizzle. This is the Sizzle Reaction Show. Oh, baby. It's all new. It's all fresh, and it's all live for you. And we will see you, my friend, on the other side.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at